Hi everyone, Robert here, and welcome to the review of Impact Wrestling from March 23, 2017. First match of the night, Davey Richards versus Suicide. This was actually not a bad match, and this is one of the most recent X Division style matches that Davey Richards has done ever since his injury last year, and he looked really good. At the end, we saw him winning with the Shining Wizard, so he won the match. Next, we got a 6-man tag team match with 3 new guys: Idris, Abraham, Fallah, Bahh, and Mario Bokara versus Garza Jr., Laredo Kid, and Mahabali Shera. This was a fun match. You see all the different style meshing up with each other. Mario Bokara looks really good. He's someone that TNA should put him on the spot because he have the look, he got the physique, and he can wrestle. And also, Mahabali Shera. I've been saying the same stuff for quite a while. This guy has potential, but you have to put him in a tag team. As a single wrestler, he's still too green. But as a tag team wrestler, he looks really good, really comfortable, and all that good stuff. So at the end, we saw Mahabali Shera lifting Fallah Bahh with a skyline and pin him. So the guy he was facing is one fat guy who's like Yokozuna. So he ended up lifting him and pinning him. So good, fun TV match. Next, we saw ODB versus Rebel. This was a comedy match. There was a time when Rebel tried to cheat and grab the cowboy hat out of ODB, but Earl went ahead, took that away from her, and put the cowboy hat on himself and ended up kissing Rebel. Then he went ahead and took the moonshine from ODB and took a big shot. After that, ODB went ahead and kissed old man Earl. So after all the comedy spot, Olivia went ahead and did the TKO to her Rebel and won. I enjoyed this kind of stuff, but I think it is time for ODB to evolve into a more modern character. This was good when it started, but that gimmick needs to evolve. So we got a couple sit-downs interview with Bobby Lashley, talking about his career, talking about that he wants to face Brock Lesnar in the near future on an MMA fight, but that was the more notable stuff out of it. We also saw backstage segments with LAX. This was shot obviously by Jeremy Borash, who have the experience shooting documentaries. He have kind of that Ganster clubhouse type of vibe, and also the documentary stuff with shooting stuff with helicopters from above and that kind of stock footage. This was really good, really interesting what they're shooting, kind of putting that film style once again into Impact Wrestling. Something that Jeremy Borash is the brain behind. Next, we got Reno Scum versus Decay. Another solid match. This is part of the tournament to crown the new TNA Impact Wrestling Tag Team Champions. So it was Reno Scum versus Decay. We saw a nasty fisherman suplex by Lester the Legend on Abyss. He picked him up like he was 2 pounds, something like that. And he ended up later down the line throwing Rosemary from the ring all the way to the outside. And then they did the finisher on Crazy Steve, who is kind of like the Super Dragon style foot stomp, kind of curve stomp type of deal, and they ended up pinning the Decay. So they are advancing into the finals. Next, we got Bobby Lashley in a squash match against a guy named Holmes. So this was total destruction out of Walking Armageddon. Bobby Lashley, who I have the guitar cover of his current theme song, and it's gonna be showing right here on a card, something like that. Next, we got announced Eli Drake versus Moose. So Eli Drake, he went to the ring, and when Moose was on the gorilla position walking to defend the grand title against Eli Drake, Cody Rhodes ended up attacking him with a steel chair, and later he did the crossroads on the ramp. Notable thing, Cody was wearing the Bullet Club jacket, and he was doing gestures and that kind of stuff, and he also took the title and lifted him up, so saying, hey, I'm gonna be running for this title. I want this title now. Next, we got a couple of backstage segments from Laura Vaness. She's still with the wedding dress. She's all bitter, and Sienna went ahead and talked to her, and they were starting to talk about plans. Sienna was trying to put that into her mind that it is not time to be sour, it is not time to be depressed, it is time to make plans for revenge. Next, we got LAX, the Latin American Exchange, in their new form against the DCC, Cowboy James Storm and Bram with Eddie Kingston on the outside. At the end, we saw LAX winning with their new kind of turning the table type of finisher, and they win, they beat DCC, but also that finisher was able to be put on them because miscommunication between the Cowboy James Storm and Eddie Kingston. So they ended up talking about that on the ring, and Cowboy James Storm say, hey, I was the one who came along with the plan for all of this, and I am the DCC. I am leaving. So this is probably the end of the DCC. I would like to make a video talking about the DCC because I have a soft spot for them, because most of the early success of this channel was because of that angle, and something that should be talked about because it was not a bad angle, but the time was not on board. Next, we got the big reveal. Who is she? Something that was teased last week. And guess who's back? Karen Jarrett. Whew. So she is now in a position of authority within Impact Wrestling. I am not a fan of her. Why? Because the way she talks, she doesn't get to the point straight, and she takes a lot of TV time to say something very, very small. But she was talking and putting over Impact Wrestling, saying, hey, that she feels the energy of the crowd and that kind of babyface stuff. And EC3 came along saying, hey, Karen Jarrett, you're saying that you are gonna make Impact great again, but this is what I have been making ever since I became a wrestler, and I am the one and only legit TNA stars that TNA Impact Wrestling had created from basically from scratch, throwing kind of punches at AJ. But it is what it is, right? This is what happens when you leave. People talk trash behind your back. It is what it is, right? So he was kind of lifting his shirt up saying, hey, I am an impact star and blah blah blah. And when he was finishing up talking, a big, I mean big, fire Josh Matthews chant explodes in the impact zone. Most of the time, the impact zone is quite quiet on TV, to say the least. But a big chant explodes, and Josh Matthews ended up grabbing a fucking mic. He went full fucking nasty. He went nasty on the management. He was saying he was expecting Bruce Prichard not to be alive. He was making fun of Dutch Mantel for being like 200 years old. He was making fun of the people at the Impact Zone for not paying tickets. He was full blown nasty. He sounded like an internet TNA hater. The whole Josh Matthews character come along as that, as an internet troll, sometimes that someone that talks the big talk on the internet, a keyboard warrior, just make into a TV person. So this was fun as hell. I was laughing. Then he also buried the fuck out of Jeremy Borash and the fans and Karen, everybody. He went full fucking nasty heel. And then he said, it is only a matter of time, Karen Jarrett, before you and the Jarrett family is gone from Impact Wrestling forever. And Karen Jarrett went ahead and slapped him, and that's how the show ended. Pretty solid cliffhanger, in my opinion. Pretty solid. I wish they would have said something more about the tag match that is gonna happen next week. I think it is the finals of the tag team tournament. But aside of that, this show was really good. Really good in the sense that it went really quick, and I'm a fan of tag team wrestling, something that we are missing. If you're not a fan of tag team wrestling, this show was not for you. But as for me, that I enjoy that type of stuff, this came really fast. This hour, 2 hours fly by. So this is all I have to say for TNA Impact Wrestling. If you have your opinions on the show, put it down in the comment section below. And I will see you next time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.